Okay, I'm Buntag. Welcome to another edition of Healthy Davao Media Forum, where this is a special episode of Kapihan sa Davao, where we discuss health-related issues with our guest medical professional as resource person. But we also be discussing the upcoming Bulawan Festival sa Davao de Oro. Special request kasi they will be holding the 18th Bulawan Festival and 27th founding anniversary of Davao de Oro. With us, our guest is to talk about our topic for Healthy Davao is actually Down syndrome no, and intellectual disabilities. And we have Dr. Mervin Edsel Flavier. However, habol na po si Dr. Flavier. For Bulawan and Festival and the 27th founding anniversary, we have Edward Macapili, the Aesthetic Assistant for Information and Public Relations, and Glenn Vincent Magalona, Development Management Officer 2 of the Provincial Tourism Office. So, for this Kapihan and Healthy Davao Media Forum, we'd like to thank SMCT Davao for again hosting our media forum. And before I segue to atong discussion, I would like to announce our events this afternoon, Feb 24. We have a full pack event. We have a launching of the Ateneo Davao Ventures Innovation Center, Adventures Innovation Center at the at ADU, Ateneo Davao sa Jacinto, tapos at 1 p.m. Then we have the launching of the Alas 4 Contra Mosquito with DOH Undersecretary Dr. Abdullah Dumama Jr. 4 p.m. Buhangin Proper, Sandawa G, Buhangin Landmark, and Mercury Dragon sa Pag-asa Home Spring Valley. And now to talk about Bulawan Festival, kasi wala pa si Dr. Flavier, we have, and si Sir Edward Ahabo lang, si Clem.
No. So, Bulawanong Adlaw, I am Glenn Vincent Magalona, Development Management Officer to the Provincial Government of Davao de Oro. So, on behalf of the Provincial Government of Davao de Oro, so I will be talking to you and sharing to all of you the exciting news about the upcoming 18th Bulawan Festival and 27th founding anniversary of Davao de Oro. So, supposedly, kauban lang ko si Prof. Makapili, but however, malate lang siya konti, pero some of the questions will be answered by him. So, I will share to you our upcoming 18th Bulawan Festival and 27th founding anniversary. So as you know, Davao de Oro is gearing up for the spectacular celebration from March 6 to 8. Kay the last 2 years, kay sige man mi og na yung mga postponement na itabo because of the different calamities such as landslides last 2024, then 2023 series of earthquakes pod. So from March 6 to 8, we have free festival activities starting as early as March 4th. This year's theme, Davao de Oro, Padayon Ta, embodies our province's resilience, progress, and wavering spirit. We've got a packed schedule that truly showcases the best of our community. So naatay mga program this year sa atong array of activities that showcase the culture, heritage, and dynamic spirit of Davao de Oro. So this celebration from March 6 to 8 is a testament of Davao de Oro's journey as the golden one and a promise of a bright future. So we kick off on day 1, March 6, Thursday, with a lively motorcade and float parade around the Bunturan, setting the festive tone. So the opening program at the Super Mega Tent, located po siya sa ato ang Capitol Drive sa Davao de Oro, will officially launch the festivities. So following that, nabot tayo mga opening and ribbon cutting ceremonies at various locations, including our Tanaman Food Park, wherein there are lots of types of plants na ginabaligya dito to be displayed for public view and for selling. So we also have jewelry, as we all know, kay Mintag Jewelry, brand naman ginasa sa Davao de Oro ang The Golden One. So ang mga i-showcase po dito or display po to ang mga jewelers kay mga gold po the mga jewelries. And we also have bonsai exhibits. So kanisa na bonsai exhibits kay open na siya na competition para sa mga bonsai enthusiasts. And naatay mga invited na mga judges from international countries. And we also have Bulawan Products Display kung asa mag-display po tag mga products from our local MSMEs and the wellness and relaxation part because as we all know, Davao de Oro is known for its wellness look sa when it terms to tourism destination. So, ato ang i-showcase atong wellness and relaxation part kung asa kung gusto mag-relax, kaya pwede sila dito sa park. And further, for our youth, we have the Bulawanong Kabatan-unan featuring the Golden Legends. So, I know most of you nagadulat ang Mobile Legends, but we also included Golden Legends for our youth and Dance for Gold. Sports enthusiasts could and can join the first Gold Bulawan Festival and volleyball tournaments. We also have bonsai demo in connection with the bonsai activity. We also have bonsai demo and awarding kung asa katong na-mention ako kanina na atay mga international judges and also Garbo de Oro kung asa natay 10 kabuok participants from various municipalities in the province na kani sila hugyo kay nino kay ang ipashowcase nila ilang talento sa singing. And we also have on day 2, March 7, Friday, jam-packed po sila because sa day 2, there are essential services and community engagement na i-offer ang province para sa mga katauhan. We have free legal services, job fair and one-stop shop, license to own and possess firearms caravan, a cooperative compliance caravan, alaw ng kalumunan or Day of the Lumad, and a pet care day, and of course, ang binibining Davao de Oro nga dugay na po siya na wala napadayon because of the pandemic and also because of the calamities this past few years. And finally, sa day 3, mo ni Santo ang founding anniversary, March 8, 2025, Saturday. That's our actual founding anniversary. Begins with the Pontifical Mass, followed by the Foundation Day program, kung asa natay special guest, si Honorable Amy Marcos. And we also have the State of the Province report, kung asa si Gov. She will report about the development, progress, and achievements of her administration in the province. And we also have Bulawanong Kababayan because as we all know, March is the Women's Month. So, natay Bulawanong Kababayan recognition and the Minister's Fellowship of Davao de Oro. So, this day culminates a spectacular Bulawanong konsyerto complete with fireworks display. So, dili lang diraa mag-stop ang atuang activities. So, nabot tayo 3 Bulawan activities starting March 4 of 5. Natay binibining Davao de Oro pre-pageant, that's talent competition, and kasalan ng bayan or mass wedding. And we also have stakeholders appreciation. And throughout the festival, you can also enjoy tunol serbisyo. So, this tunol serbisyo manggod kay ang atuang government nag-add sila sa mga far-flung areas and also GIDA or geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas para magtunol og mga essential services. And we also have Agri-Trade Expo, the One Mindanao Bonsai and Siseki Exhibition, the Bulawanong Products Exhibit, and much more. So this year's celebration is a testament to the resilience, unity, and progress of Davao de Oro. So we invite everyone, especially locals, tourists, and also kani mga atong kaigsunan diri sa media nga to join us sa grand celebration sa 18th Bulawan Festival of sa 27th founding anniversary sa Davao de Oro. So, let's make this founding anniversary memorable. So, kasi gusto ko mo ato rito, you're very welcome. So, I think that's it for the program or the array of activities for the 18th Bulawan Festival at 27th founding anniversary of Davao de Oro.
Okay, wala pa sila Dr. And also si Sir Edward.
Coaching ba si Sir Edward, pero coming na daw siya po.
Hindi ka nagsabay ka.
Hindi po kami nagsabay.
Okay. Anyway, yun, full pack yung March. Kasi last year, I think cancel ba yun na reschedule because, di ba, grabe yung nangyari sa Basara, mining, nung area na yun, no?
Yes, sir. Bale, 2 years na siya na wala joy ka ng mayroon tayo. Although natin mga planned activities for Bulawan Festival year 2023 and 2024, however, naatay mga hindrances such as katong naitabo sa 2023 na naatay series of earthquakes sa na from from March good. So wala siya nagpadayon because we postponed. And also sa 2024, planned na punta siya na siya mga series of activities. However, nato nahindered ta because of the effects of the trough of LPA and shear line. So, naputay landslide na unfortunately na ay mga casualties dito sa ato ang barangay Masara sa municipality of Mako. So, mo to siyang na-postpone for wala po siya napadayon.
Okay. Again, reminding sa media, this mamayang hapon, the launching of the Ateneo de Davao Ventures Innovation Center, 1 p.m. at Ateneo de Davao Jacinto. Then, the alas 4, contra mosquito with the Department of Health Undersecretary Dr. Abdullah Dumama, 4 p.m. Maraming ito sa Buhangin proper yung lunch, but may mga activities sa Sandawa Gym, Buhangin, Landmark, Mercury Drug, Going to Bagasa, Homes and Spring Valley. Namin pangutana atong wait ka naman, Mike.
Check 1 to okay. Sir Ken, good morning. Jason po sa Gen A sa Radyo Davao. Sir, karon nga tuig sa pagsaulog sa Bulawan Festival, sila bag-alokar nga budget sa tong probinsya sa mga aktibidad po?
As to the budget, I don't have the specific data regarding the budget because we're finalizing or gina-finalize pa kung pila gid ang tanan nagmagasto. But we will get back to you if after Professor Edward if naa na sa diriya.
So naman ko mo sir, warag kani ang pagbalik no sa festival. Sila ba itong gilauman nga turista nga bubisita sa itong probinsya sa pagsaulog po sa ito ang Bulawan Festival?
So, medyo kanang naman dito tayong problem when it comes to ang ginatawag na to na di ba resumption because of 2 years na din siya. So, hopefully because of this platform, makainganyo ta og ideally, dapat makainganyo ta og mga more than 500,000 na mga turista para mo join sa ato ang celebration sa 18th Bulawan Festival of 27th Founding Anniversary.
And sir, sa imong na-mention from March 6 to 8 ang celebration, ano sa mga bag-o nga mga activity alin sa ato ang celebration po? Na-mention nimo katong Jewelry Expo, first time ba ni sir?
Dili siya first time, but ginabuhat na gid siya sa province since time nga katong nagsugod ang atong Bulawan Festival of sa founding anniversary because that's our mga ginatawag nato nga symbol, di ba, ang jewelry na gold. Pero karon gi-resume na to ang Jewelry Expo because again that's our symbol. So dili man nato matawag og Bulawan Festival kung kita kakitag Bulawan. So naa tay Jewelry Expo kay para ma-showcase pod nga it's Davao de Oro of Gold.
Sir, unsa itong mga activities sa Bulawan at sa Araw ng Davao de Oro to fill the other communities dahil nga sa tanan sa tibok probinsya nga mag-celebrar jud og Araw ng Davao de Oro, not just on the capital province, sa pila ang mga activities surrounding the Bulawan and Araw ng Davao de Oro kasi.
So as I've mentioned, kani siya na celebration is not just about entertainment but also about essential services. So natay mga essential services na as I mentioned kanina na ginatunol sa ato ang mga GIDA na mga communities and also natay mga ginatunol sa ato ang mga services para sa ato mga katawhan such as free legal services. We also have caravan para sa ato ang cooperative na compliance caravan. We also have job fair and one-stop shop para sa mga gusto mangitag trabaho and also a license to own and possess firearms caravan nga makita po nato sa atong probinsya. So our communities will also feel that they're part of this celebration because again, sila man ang naga-compose sa province as the province itself.
Sir, unsa yung mga preparations sa gimo na nato karon para mas bulungtad and successful ang ato ang Araw ng Davao de Oro and Bulawan Festival?
So, one of our preparations kay we invited all of stakeholders. We invite na to mga stakeholders para mapilito nila na part sila sa celebration and also nagabuhat og marketing and promotion sa ato ang mga media outlets and among the preparations also kay kanang nag-invite of partners sa ato ang mga private stakeholders In fact, na ating mga silver partners and bronze partners, so I will mention them after this, and also to thank them also. And mo to siya, nag-invite from the education sector, tourism sector, and those people na part sa Davao de Oro.
Naman tayo mga activities for the February na mga arts month na February. How will these activities be related to the araw ng Davao de Oro at Bulawan Festival?
So, sa Arts Month 2025, naman tayo gina-celebrate every February in Arts Month 2025. So, the province, we have array of activities for the Arts Month. And kagahapon lang, human atong Pinta Haligi, that's a community of repainting workshop offered by our artisans na tagad na bunturan po sila. So, they taught the students and naturally workshop na kanang sa footbridge, mag-paint sila dito. So, tapos sila ng mga, and also we have dance workshop na baguhay lang na itabo, ang Artes de Davao de Oro kung asa we adopted community of talents sa mga schools na wherein these students, kaning mga natuduan nato ng mga students, kay mag-perform sila in front of the crowd to showcase what they've learned during the workshop.
Sir, good morning. Mark from TV5 Davao to FM Davao. Sir, just to confirm lang, sa katong exhibitions na inyong ipang-display during the event, aside sa katong gold, katong bonsai, proudly from Davao de Oro dito sa mga ano po, sir. Ipang-display sa exhibition.
Natay mga bonsai enthusiasts na from Davao de Oro, but this exhibition kay open na siya sa tanan. So most likely na ay most idea na nga mo ang gina-target mga nasa worth around 70 plus na participants kay ang kanisyon na bonsai activity manggod kay in collaboration also with One Mindanao Bonsai Society, Bonsai Society, and also PISAPI na organization din sila sa mga bonsai enthusiasts.
Lalo ko follow up po, Sir Ted. Sa karon ba, kamusta ang estado sa turismo sa tibuok probinsya po sa Davao de Oro? Gawa sa aming atong ginapahigayon nga Bulawan Festival sa atong founding anniversary po.
So in terms of tourism sa ato ang province of Davao de Oro, so we're doing well. However, nalang din tayo mga certain attractions na nag-close because wala pagyapon sila gitugutan na mag-open kay need pag further assessment kani atong ginatawag na Bilawa Mainit Hot Waterfall sa Municipality of Mako kay tumingong kag tourism ang brand magit sa province karon is the wellness loop katong kanang mga kung gusto sa relaxation mamagina siya kanang ginakuha sa mga tao na sa tawagan niya na leisure, but kanang Bilawa Mainit Hot Waterfalls kung asa it's a community-based ecotourism kay na-close siya, so affected ang hundreds of people na employed in an area because kana siya na attraction manggod kay gina-manage siya sa tuang mga sa community sa barangay Mainit sa Mako. That's a community before barangay Masara. So affected sila ana kani mga siya na attraction kay mag-earn siya millions annually. So and also unfortunately po, despite the calamities na nahitabo sa Davao de Oro, gi-bounce back man gyapon, nag-increase gyapon natong tourist arrivals. In 2024, ni-breach ta og 2 million na arrivals, both local and both foreign sa ato ang mga tourist destinations. So this year, ang gina-target is mapa-increase pa pod o hopefully ma-open ang ato ang ganang ginatawag nato na Bilawa or wellness loop because kana manggid ang mga ginaadtuan sa mga tao. However, naman po tayo mga alternative na attraction sama sa Maragusan. Kana siya, so we invite everyone to join us to visit Davao de Oro.
Follow-up question. Since this is the comeback of Pinibining Davao de Oro, we followed all the activities, no? Last sashing ceremony ninyo, na yung mga municipalities na wala naka-participate, but now nakita na mo with notice sa inyong latest post sa inyong official photos na po si Binibining Pagtukan. What happened po during that one? We just want to know.
Siguro, ang makatubag anak ay si Prof, but I will just answer. So, kana siya, ang naitabo manggod is, there's a confusion, naamang siya general mechanics, sama sa height. So, some of these contestants manggod, wala nila nakuha tong certain nga height, such as wala ko kapalo sa specific good nga height requirement, but na ay mga certain municipalities na dili yun kato ilang mga gipadala because wala nila na reach ko nga certain nga qualification. So, basig mo po na yung reason nga wala po sila kapadala. Also, tawag na to ani, basig gina-check pa po ang mga availability sa atong mga contestants, sa atong mga beauty queens because na mga certain municipalities for also na dili mo tilang ipadala because katong mga raining kay na sila um, mga klase, kanang mga certain mga appointments ba.
Sir, I don't know sir, if na question na ba sir, sila yung budget nato aning Bulawan Festival this year and what makes the 18th Bulawan Festival sa unique compare sa kuan sir? Nakalabay mga celebration.
So, as to the budget, I cannot give you the specific amount because gina-finalize pa nga po siya sa ato ang sa secretariat kung pila gid siya ang ato ang amount. And also, as to the other information regarding Bulawan Festival, maybe Professor Edward can explain. But as to the uniqueness of this activity, sa karon manggod kay we're more into essential services. Kay dati, if you will compare dati purely on entertainment, so natin although natin mga services, but very amagod sa tuwa karon na Bulawan, murag natay mga services manggod na ginahatag sa community na kami na mismo ang mahatag sa inyo, such as Bulawanong Tunol Serbisyo. That's a unique program of the governor nga. Kapagay na-mention ako, health services, ito pa ba, mga civil services, social services, kay ginaadto na siya sa atong nagaadto na sila mismo, ang government na mismo ang nag-atod og serbisyo dito sa to ang mga geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. So, that's mo na siya ang isa sa mga naka-unique sa to ang activities sa Bulawan Festival karon.
So, na ba tayo target sila itong nauman nga turista?
So as to the target for the tourist arrivals, we're targeting more than ideally 500,000, but mas maayo ko more than that.
500,000 from different places.
From different places also in Davao region.
Pero mo data that before, na previous Bulawan, how many tourists or average na niabot o bisita sa Davao de Oro during the holding of the Bulawan?
As to the data regarding sa Bulawan Festival, so wala ko data na hawid about the tourist arrival sa Bulawan, the past Bulawan festivals, but I can pwede na ko siya ipangutana before ta mahuman diri kung pila ba gid ang data, and also pwede po na mo siya ma-share to everyone regarding sa data if napag may hawid. But as to the data, wala na ko siya na-prepare. Pero hopefully ma-release ko na mo siya kung pila yun.
Okay, according sa nagtanong sa mic, relay ko na, are there contingency plans, for example, na ulan, usually manggod, shutdown ng kalsada going to your lugar. Do you have contingency if ever something nakunod no na yung calamities?
So our BDRRMO prepared sila when it comes to the calamities if ever na amay mahitabo, simba ko lang. Kung nga amay mahitabo, prepared sila because ato ang mga PDRRMO na nasa contingency plan when it comes to tawag ani kanang mga dagkong events. So nga na siya prepared sir sa ato ang personnel nga nasa PDRRMO.
Reminder as our friends on the media, si Dr. Mervin Edson Xavier, papunta siya, just came from a very important appointment. Siyempre, pa-doctor, no? Maraming silang gina-attend na patients. And si Professor Edward Makatili on the way na rin. Okay, we are streamed live at the PIA Davao Facebook page. And also, thank you so much to Kadampan, ever, buti libre ngayon si busy si Carlo. Kay, in demand ba yan siya na, uh, okay. Then sa March March 4, babalik yung ating uh, kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas on March 4. That's Tuesday with Department of Tourism, Tanya Rabandan. Then, to be announced po ang venue. Then, there's announcement. We have the press briefing on the minimum wage increase in Davao Region. Wage order number RB 11-23 to take effect on March 7, 2025, granting minimum wage increase in Davao Region. So there will be a press briefing karong Wednesday, February 26, 2 o'clock p.m. to 3 p.m. This is online press con. There's a Zoom video conference. We will be sa mga GCs, i-disseminate lang namin yung Zoom link ng ating video conference on the minimum wage, the coming minimum wage increase in Davao Region, wage order number RB 11-23. Again, remind ko lang mamaya, Adventures, the opening is sa Ateneo de Davao Innovation is 1 p.m. at Ateneo de Davao Jacinto Campus, and yung yung 4 p.m. na yung Contra Mosquito with ASEC Dr. Amula Dumama at Buhangin Proper Gym. Okay, back to Glenn. Let's go to tourism. One of the crowd drawers is talaga Bulawan Festival. You said 500,000. May mga bago bang tourism sites? Kasi yung sa wellness loop, no? You're promoting wellness loop. Meron ba mga bagong tourism destinations na you open for tourists in or ano yung gusto niyo i-promote, i-focus in your province?
So last year, we opened the Maragusan Adventure Circuit sa Maragusan, the municipality of Maragusan. So as you all know, when pamingot ang Maragusan, it's the valley of golden opportunities. So naa siya yung mga tourist attractions diraan na pwede nyo atuan, especially karong apit na ang summer. So bugnaw ni siya na area. So we opened Maragusan Adventure Circuit last year. So this year, we're focusing more into the beach activities diri sa ato ang coastal circuit kanang composed of Mako, Mabini, and Pantukan na mag-create tag loop to be launched this year. And last year po also, we introduced to the public the ginatawag nato na Davao Gulf Diverse Marine Park na it's a protected area na pwede ta mag-dive dito, just coordinate with us and also the municipality of Mabini para ma-schedulean mo if ever gusto mo mag-dive to see the richness of the underwater na environment dito sa protected area sa Mabini Protected Landscape and Seascape. And in terms of sa mga bago, unfortunately, wala pa natin i-open po ang ato ang mga mountaineering activities because we're assessing if pwede naman dun sa aduan. So, nagadepende pa po dito siya sa atong mga LGUs sa province of Davao de Oro.
With the recent mga LPA trap, didn't affect yung mga tourist, mountaineering pa natin kasi, diba, landslide.
So, that's one of the reasons nga nung wala kita mo gin-encourage na mag-mountaineering activities ang mga turista diri sa Davao de Oro because again we're actually waiting for the assessment of our decisions of the respective municipalities sa ato ang probinsya kung pwede na magpasudlan ang ilang mga kabukiran for these activities. But pwede siya pasudlan, however, for specific purposes such as research purposes. So daghan na po ang nag-add dito to assess the biodiversity of our mountains in Davao de Oro.
Nandun yung Raffles siya ba yun? Yung biggest flower.
Yes po, sa Maragusa na siya makitaan, ang Raplas siya magkitika or Flash Mira. So, sa Maragusa na siya makitaan kung asa, naasa na yung location dito, that's a location kung asa, dito nila ginapatubo na open siya sa public to see ang ato ang Raplas siya magkitika. However, subject to availability kung nabay nag-bloom ang Raplas siya dito sa ato ang sanctuary.
So, parang baho man yan siya na flower.
Different siya na reflect siya nga makita sa Maragusan because nakita naman siya ka-personal but wala siya baho. So, parang different siya, na unique type of our reflect siya kay dili siya odorous na ginatawag.
Recently, yung DOT, nasa na Davao Adventure Challenge. Kamusta naman, kasi may mga ibang destinations like Maragusan sa inyo, no? May part siya ng DAC, Davao Adventure Challenge. And when we interviewed yung mga winners, yung mga conquerors, ultimate conquerors, they were in awe. Naganaan sila sa, I think Maragusan ba yun, yung may falls. Kamusta naman yung participation ng province sa Davao Adventure Challenge? And meron ba tayo mga bagong sites na i-include sa Davao Adventure Challenge?
So, as to Davao Adventure Challenge, so luckily, we were included, ang municipality of Maragusan was included sa ato ang Davao Adventure Challenge. Kung asa, kanisa, isa ka programa sa Department of Tourism 11, we would like to thank DOT 11 PI for including us sa kaninga project. So, kanisa, natay duha ka buok waterfalls na na-include, mo ni siya ang Tagbibinta Falls, and Pialitan Falls. So, last year, ang nag-invite ang mga media nga ni Adto Ritua and also na-feature ni siya sa some media outlets ang ato ang Pialitan and Tagbibinta Falls. So, wapo ang mga feedback sa ato ang mga conquerors sa kanina mga waterfalls. Then, karon na year, we're expecting na mag-add with additional but we're finalizing kung unsa ba gid siya ng mga attractions na pwede masulod sa atong ginatawag na adventure. Because again, ang ato ang mga target audience ay target magunato ani ng mga na activity kay katong mga adventure seekers, thrill seekers. So we're finalizing kung unsa ba gito ang mga destinations or attractions.
How many did avail of the DAC sa inyong destination? Tama yung record?
As to the record, nagadepende siya sa ginahatag kay namang mag-register kay the data kay magikan magud sa DOT 11. So, naana sila yung website kung asa dito mag-register. But subject for validation sa siyang DOT 11, then asura data kung pila na ang nag-add to sa tuang sites na included sa Davao Adventure Challenge sa Maragusan. I cannot give you the specific data, however, it's more than 10.
Okay, balik tayo dun sa Davao de Oro Dive Park. Usan siya na, when was this implemented? Paano siya mag-avail?
So, dugay na siya na program sa Davao Gulf Divers, headed by Sir Inigo Tauho. So, dugay na siya na mga na endeavor na gusto nila mapadako pa ang protected ang marine park or
Protect hectares yung protected. Asan siya dapit? Mabini?
sa Pintasan Mabini.
Malapit sa island, Lubig, Copiat.
Yes, doon siya sa island, but kani siya kay nasa part siya sa Mabini Protected Landscape and Seascape or MPLS na tinatawag. So, mo ni siya ang isa sa mga dream ang good sa Davao Gulf Divers na mas papadako pa ang protected areas or ma-preserve pa ang mga underwater environment sa ato ang mga kadagatan, especially sa Davao Gulf. So, kani siya na, I don't know if kung sabagin ang correct na measurements sa hectares, but as far as I remember, it's 3 hectares. So, na-address si Prof. Edward Macapili.
Okay, we'd like to acknowledge Professor Edward Macapili, Executive Assistant, the Provincial Local Government Unit. Okay, nag-ready pa si Prof. Kasi meron, I remember, may napanood akong video sa, tourism video, yung food circuit, no? Kusa na yun? Yung, di ba may mga ginagawa kayo na mga pagkainan sa Davao de Oro? Like halo-halo, yung ano, birds ba yun?
So our food industry in Davao de Oro is doing well. So ginadayog ako ng ato ang Bibingka City na ginatawag diya sa Sibungan na bunturan na mo po na sa mga ginadayog ang mga bibingka nila dira ang locally made. So ang mga buses gikan sa norte naga-stop over dira to just to taste the delicious bibingka and kanitong ginatawag na halo-halo diya sa Mako. So ginadayog gyapon siya. Our food industry is thriving. In fact, we're discovering more and more about the unique flavors of Davao de Oro. Bago lang na atin na-discover na natin siya ng coffee diri sa nabunturan. So, hopefully, na dagang pa tag ma-explore na mga food diri sa nga unique sa Davao de Oro and locally made by the constituents of Davao de Oro.
Then we have Professor Edward Makapili. Kasi may namin nagtatanong daw magkano yung budget and Bulawan kasi. Also, can you tell us, or elaborate also, this upcoming event, the Bulawan Festival? And also, may naman ko tanong mga budget and mga tourist arrival.
May request again to reiterate the question.
Okay.
Hindi masyadong klaro.
Can you tell us more about this coming Bulawan Festival? Because some of the media also as pila daw ang budget and also the mga tourist arrivals in the past Bulawan Festival.
Okay. Good morning. First and foremost, no, may tagpasensya for coming late. All the way down from Nabunturan to consider the traffic. So it caused the delays of the travel and reaching this place. The Bulawan Festival is the commemoration of the founding anniversary. Actually, dalawa kasi itong founding anniversary ng Davao de Oro. If you will remember, in 1998, when this was created, na si Axia sa Davao del Norte, that time kasi undivided yung Davao del Norte. In 1998, na-create itong isang province which is known as Compostela Valley Province. And that creation was March because the law was enacted and approved on the month of March. And when Congressman Gonzaga sat down as the representative of the 2nd District, he was trying to reconsider bringing the name of the province near to Davao region. Kasi in Region 11, si Davao de Oro lang ang hindi nagdala ng Davao that time. Considering that the undivided Davao City before, then there was the creation of Davao del Norte, Davao Oriental, Davao del Sur. Eventually, there was the creation of Davao Occidental. And among the Davao region, it's only the Compostela Valley Province, which is part of Davao del Norte before, but did not bring the name Davao. And Congressman Gonzaga enacted, he filed that bill, and eventually it was enacted by Congress. Nahimo siyang Davao de Oro in the month of October. Kaya if you will wonder, meron kaming celebrations on October, then we celebrated also on March. But this March celebration was the original celebrations of the founding of the province when it was named as Compostela Valley Province. Now, we cannot also go away from the celebration the fact that the original creation was enacted in the month of March. So, Davao de Oro is compelled, of course, to conduct celebration. And I think it was already elaborated and generated by Sir Clint, yung mga activities. Now, yung budget, I would like to ask for reconsideration for a while because sobrang nagmamadali ako. I left the, kasi meron kasi siyang, yan na bang propose na posible ito yung magamit. Kasi nga, long time ago,
yung celebrations ng Bulawan Festival, tag 1 week na siya. No? Sa gani, na-play 2 week celebration. No? And remember, Davao de Oro, from the time it was created, it's already on 27th year. So that time, they give much emphasis the founding anniversary. Kaya umaabot pa nga isang buwan. No? There were times na naging isang buwan. But this time, to reconsider also the budget constraints. Kasi naman, what is important for the local government is the delivery of the basic services, which is clearly it is provided under Section 16 of the Local Government Code that the government should address this general welfare, subsequently under Section 17. But the celebration is part of not just to commemorate, giving the chance of every Davao de Oro people to develop the social aspects, no? The social aspects sa kinabuhi sa tao, the social aspects sa local government. That is why different activities na gina-undertake, kinahimo. And to highlight it, yung mga talents and giving emphasis on the IPs and the ICCs and some other activities. So ito yung mangyayari sa Bulawan Festival for this 2025. Now, there are partners. No? Meron kaming mga partners, state partners that it's not only the provincial government solely shoulder the budget. No? Meron kaming mga partners na private institution na tumulong din in as much as the operations of this Bulawan Festival. And but I cannot disclose the amount they contributed. We are very much grateful with the Nabunturan Integrated Cooperative who really expressed their financial support for the success of this activity. And of course, also the Combal Capital Multipurpose Cooperative, the Andrew Flores, the Dagat ni Baste Hotel and Beach Resort, and we have also the Edgardo Tauto and Phil Holland Corporations. So we're very much grateful of this because the celebrations does not only for the people, I mean for the provincial government in the government side. But this celebration definitely also addresses and caters to all sectors in the society. And it's just lawful that the private institutions participated and part of the success of this activity. Later, I have to disclose the budget. Kinuha lang sa success.
Good morning, Sir Ed. Jaisel, GLA sa Radyo Davao. Sir Ed, malahi ko nga topic yung murag na hatag na sa kadaghanan ni Sir Clint ang kining mga aktibidad sa Bulawan Festival. Kamusta ang tinuo ka probinsya karon sa Davao de Oro human sa kining mga sagunson nga nasinati nga kalamidad labi na last year po na ay mga lungsod ang nakasinati og kalamidad po.
Thank you with that question. Lahat naman siguro ng form of government. Alam natin the four local government units na the province, cities, municipalities, and the barangays, excluding the national government. Lahat naman ng mga LGUs na nakasinati o mga kalamidad, maka-recover siya, but it's a gradual recovery. Why? Considering the budget constraints or the scarcity of the resources. But the local government of province of Davao de Oro under the leadership of our Governor Justice Dorothy Binsaga and the collaborations of the public officials in the province, it's really evident na bumabangon si province. In fact, with the great lessons experienced by the local government with those calamities, you will remember from Baha, no, yung Sirlines, Tapot LCTA, then eventually the consequence was the landslide of Nasara. Yet the government is working hard to not just to recover economically, but to settle down the people who are victims of these calamities. As a matter of fact, dalawa ng site ng housing project ng local government of the province of Davao de Oro na nakapag-turn over na. And because of these houses, it's not peso, it's not thousand, but millions of pesos to construct the number of houses that needed. Kasi yung Campo Uno lang, dalawang kampo yung relocation. Excuse me, the settlement site. Yung Campo Uno, nasa around 51 households yun. And they were the one resettled. They were resettled and another resettled for the permanent shelter dun sa Elizalde. And the Campo Dos, unti-unti na din na nabigyan ng mga bahay. With regards to economic aspect, well, the government of Province of Davao de Oro was also grateful with the trust of the investors coming in the province. Na maraming nakapending na mga investors. In fact, kung ma-materialize na, merong daming investment yan sa Mako, yung economic zone. May economic zones na matayo dyan sa Mako. And it will cater international trading. Now, but it's a long process. What makes important is the local government of Davao de Oro is working hard to materialize all of this because it's not just to help the government in itself, but all the residents that will resolve the problem of unemployment, that help to increase the kind of production in all goods and commodities. So, ganyan po ginagawa ng Davao de Oro.
Okay, Professor Edward, kasi Bulawan is about yung ating gold, syempre gold mining or gold industry. Kamusta po yung gold industry sa Davao de Oro? At ano po yung may showcase natin? What will we showcase bagong development sa ating gold industry sa probinsya?
Okay. I think one of the highlights, Bulawan Festival was the showcase of our jewelry. But I would like to emphasize that this Bulawan Festival is not literally, though Davao de Oro is gifted with different forms of minerals, diba? But Bulawan does not only refer to the literal productions of mineral resources in Davao de Oro. This caters a wider perspective, like the goodness of the people of Davao de Oro, the goodness of the harvest of agricultural products, the goodness of the harvest of the aqua resources. Kasi si Davao de Oro, it might be there are other province na the same status with Davao de Oro, but I think in Davao region, it's only Davao de Oro having this kind of resources, agricultural resources, mineral resources, and aquatic resources. The celebration sa Bulawan Festival does not only refer in particular the richness of this precious stone, but in all other things like, as what I have said, in the coastal municipalities, there will be a great harvest of aquatic products and the agricultural products and the mineral resources. Now, unti-unti pong bumalik yung magandang ekonomiya with regards to kaning mining production, no? Kaning mining activities, like the provincial government really made it sure that the provincial mining regulatory board will be working. There are developments of tinatawag nating minahan ng bayan. Minahan ng bayan na aside from the large-scale mining company like Apex in part of the North Davao, already in the jurisdiction of Apex, yung mga area who are producing also minerals, no, kay ginahimo silang minihan ng bayan, yung mga gagmay-gagmay na mga miners, like especially the IPs, kasi karamihan doon sa mining area covered under ancestral domain. So the IPs or the ICC or the indigenous cultural communities habitated by the IP, the government is helping them to make their economic status more better by indulging themselves with this mining economic activity. But in relation to the coming celebration of minahan ng I mean, Bulawan Festival, no? The Bulawan Festival, the one of the highlights that would also relate na talaga itong celebration na ito is for Bulawan, the the showcase of jewelry is one of the emphasis. In fact, sa magandang nangyari sa Davao de Oro with the reconciliations and the unification again of the leaders, ilalabas uli yung solidarity ring.
Wala kayong plano na lakihan yung solidarity ring na
This question, kung lakihan yun, it's not in our part. It is in the local chief executive and the entire officials of the province of Davao de Oro.
Okay, then we acknowledge the presence of Dr. Mervin Edsel Flavier, the consultant, Neurodevelopment and Behavioral Pediatrics, SPMC. He will be talking about Down syndrome and intellectual disabilities. Doc, opening statement and ano po yung ating kasi parang advocacy to about to widen the awareness and understanding of intellectual disabilities and Down syndrome. Ano po yung ginagawa ng inyong department sa ganitong advocacy?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me? So, good morning. First of all, I would like to apologize for being late this morning. To talk about the topic I am assigned to discuss, Down syndrome and intellectual disabilities. Yes, this is a condition many of us are very well aware of. And during the month of February, we celebrate the National Consciousness Week month for both conditions, Down syndrome and intellectual disabilities. These are individuals with special needs and they deserve the right to have equal benefits. Whatever we have, they have the right also to experience learning, experience living. And therefore, every month we celebrate this. In fact, last second week of February 15, the Down Syndrome Association of the Philippines, or the SAPI, Davao chapter had their yearly activity of Angel's Walk, wherein all families gather, having children with Down syndrome and even intellectual disability, gather and have their parade starting from the ending at the People's Park, from the Freedom Park to the People's Park, so every year. So what is Down syndrome? It is a genetic condition wherein a child is born having three chromosome number 21, three copies. Ideally, there's just two, but in a Down syndrome patient, they have three. And that causes the physical characteristics of children with Down syndrome, having small face, flat nose, up-slanted eyes, and other physical characteristics. And classically, they also manifest with intellectual disability. What is intellectual disability? These are individuals who have difficulties in caring for themselves, uh, being able to contribute very well in our community, and having difficulties learning. So what we do to them is that we try our very best to let them undergo interventions such as physical, occupational, and speech therapies, and enroll them in special needs education for them to have something worthwhile learning to do as some kind of activity when they grow up and earning for themselves. So that is what I would like to share this morning about this special group of individuals that they may be differently abled, but they are no less. They have equal rights and opportunities to live among us. Thank you.
Doc, sa Davao region or sa SPMC yung record, how many yung na-attend natin, nabibigyan natin na interventions?
Well, at the Southern Philippines Medical Center, we have our developmental section wherein at the OPD we see children with developmental delays or behavioral concerns, and we evaluate them, assess them, and determine what their needs are. For example, as I've mentioned, do they need physical therapy, occupational therapy for behavioral modification, skills training, and also later placement in the appropriate school program. No, we have different school programs. But what we emphasize is that they have a right for inclusivity. They have the right to study among regular children, noting that they are capable also. No? I mean, they have no difficulties in their behavior. So weekly we have OPDs, outpatient clinics, seeing these children with special needs, not just children with Down syndrome or intellectual disabilities, but also those children having autism, global developmental delay, and other neurodevelopmental behavioral disorders, even including ADHD or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and those having learning disabilities. So we see them at the OPD, we assess them, we give them recommendations, and we refer them to the rehabilitation department for them to undergo these therapies. The government now has imposed a Z package for children with special needs, and therefore they can avail of it for those who are marginalized, those who are able to afford private therapy centers. So for the indigent patients of Southern Mindanao, Davao Southern Mindanao, we see them and therefore they get to be included in the therapy program.
Yung mga indigent, kasali siya sa Z package.
Yes, the government now has the Z package specifically for indigent patients.
Yan ba yun under sa, ako na rin siya sa Universal Healthcare Law? Or part
I
sa-
think the universal health care also governs partly on the PHIC, no? So with regards to the exact detail, I think they are still planning it out. Yes, sir.
Okay, questions, Mike?
Sir, with regards to the intellectual ability of the children, does the usage of cell phones and other gadgets affect their growth in terms in their intellectual ability, sir?
Yes, thank you for the question, sir. No? So, one of the advocacy that we would really like to share among every family is that as parents, we should control the use of media. This includes TV, your computer, your tablets, and even your cell phone. Children who do not have difficulties, those who are typically developing, get to use so much of multimedia, they forget what is more, or they get distracted from what is more important. And what is that? Studying well. They spend more time looking at videos, wasting time overnight. The parents are not supervising. So we ask the parents to kindly watch over their children. Now, our country ranks second to the last among in a study by the WHO, our country ranks second to the last among high school students in public school in terms of literacy or reading ability. No, the last country is Laos, and second to the last is our country. Our high school students in public schools are having a hard time learning to read. What are they good at? What do they like to do? Anybody? They would prefer looking at TikTok videos or making their own TikTok videos rather than studying hard. No, so it's a major distraction. I see one person there on his cell phone, another on his cell phone. Everyone is on the cell phone. And if we do not give our children guidance to control their gadget use,
they will have a hard time learning from school. So more so, these children with intellectual disability are already challenged to learn. You gotta give them more of that, or in fact, they're already having a hard time studying or learning, and that is a major distraction for them. In fact, they would even learn unwanted behaviors from too much gadgets. Once you remove the gadget abruptly from them, they become angry or irritable, and therefore they develop tantrums. No, so I'm not saying gadgets or multimedia is bad. I'm not counter technology, but it's the responsibility of each and every parent to police their children, to monitor what they are watching, to regulate, and give supplemental guidance. Because what's happening is that they are just left alone. The gadgets are misused, overused, and later abused even.
Okay, before kay Carla, I follow up. Yung you said about yung media, yung social, yung mga cellphone, yung gadgets, no? Yung learning disabilities sa yung intellectual disabilities, hindi lang siya chromosomal due to chromosomes, but because na-develop sa ating practice na sampak na lang yung devices sa mga bata, na sige na lang.
No. I would like to clarify, gadgets do not cause intellectual disabilities, no? But they're even more harmful. Because they're already having a hard time learning, you're gonna give pa a distraction, right? For example, I see patients studying in a SPED program, trying to write letter A the whole year. A, in pages of paper, A. Then come the 2-month summer vacation, and during that 2-month summer vacation, what do? Watch TV, play computer and video games, and then come the school period again, they forgot already what they learned after a year. That child with intellectual disability is very severe. No? So for me, I ask the parents, what is your ultimate goal in your child? Do you want him to learn the alphabet, that after the vacation time, he just forgets it? Or you want him to learn some skillful activity he enjoys doing, therefore it is sustainable, and then he can earn from it even. That is more helpful when he becomes an adult rather than keeping him in a very simple program, but there is no output or long-term goal. So what we would like them to learn is to learn so many skillful activities that they enjoy doing and yet earns them something at the end of the day. Isn't that better, sir? Right? If they learn the alphabet and then after a year they forget, that's useless. But if they are trained to do some skillful activity they enjoy doing, they think they're just playing, having fun, it is sustainable and best of all, earns them something. Tama po, no? So, I just like to clarify that the gadgets do not cause intellectual disability. You might get the misimpression po. But it is not good for them. It is not good for kids who are typically developed because they develop unwanted behaviors if left unsupervised and uncontrolled by the parents. That's the more important thing to take note of po.
Alright, so for the sake of time management, hapit na ulit si Romel. Actually, I will only give one question to Prof. Makapili. For the Bulawan Festival, how about sa peace and security measures nato for the festivities? And also sa ginabantay nato nga pagpabilin sa insurgency free while the duration of the festival is ongoing for the entire Davao de Oro po. Unsay ato ang ma-expect nato for the entire celebration after some unavoidable circumstances po?
So thank you for that question. I believe that everybody, or it is already a public knowledge, that Region 11 is an insurgency free. Okay? And Davao de Oro really prepared for this. Very, very timely na itong celebration na ito, the Bulawan Festival for 2025 is also naging malapit na dito sa incoming elections. So the preparations to sustain the peace and order na doble. Kasi nga, there is already mandate from the COMELEC that our uniformed personnel will conduct some GOs or checkpoints to maintain and to make it sure that the province, not only in Davao de Oro, I believe it's nationwide, that the peace and order will be sustained and established. Now, to consider also the Davao de Oro celebrations for Bulawan Festival, the PNP, the Armed Forces of the Philippines and other um, mga members of the enforcement agency, they collaborated with each other to make it sure that the celebrations of Bulawan Festival free from any hazards and distractions from the unlawful elements. No? And the leadership of Governor Justice Dorothy Gonzaga making sure that the peace and order or the insurgency-free province will be sustained. Very grateful nga siya that the budget for 2025 was approved early as 2024 of October so that the Provincial Peace and Order Council will be can be mobilized with the use of the budget of the Peace and Order Funds.
Okay, sir, Professor Edward, the budget, meron na kayong budget.
I would like to ask for reconsiderations. We were not given the cost of the entire budget of the celebration. But what we have here, kasi in every activity, meron yung prepared budget. So for the two activities in the bonsai competitions and the jewelry, for a 3-day celebration, it costs for the bonsai around 348,588. That is only for the bonsai for 3 days competition. No? And the source of funds comes from the Sociocultural and Arts Program. For the jewelry, ang tawag natin dyan, showcase. The cost for this 3-day celebration is 240,400 pesos. Now, if you notice, Sir Clint enumerated different activities for this 3-day celebration. The provincial government made it sure that there is sufficient budget that can succumb to the expenses of this celebration.
Okay, thank you.
Just to clarify regarding sa katong the question kanina regarding sa arrivals sila bang expected sa Bulawan Festival, I would just like to correct that katong 500K is mo na siya ang quarter namo na target for the tourist arrival sa tibok na province, but for the Bulawan Festival we're targeting around 7,000 daily. So for 3 days, 7,000 people daily for 3 days among target for Bulawan Festival. But katong 500K nga ako na-mention kanina, that's the quarter na amo ang target for the whole province of Davao de Oro in terms of tourism arrivals. So, just to clarify lang po.
Okay, to Dr. Labian, one of the programs parang sa DISAPI ba, yun yung ma-integrate yung mga may Down syndrome and sa society like employment, no? Kamusta na ho? Because we have dating mga press con, they were merong na-hire, successful na they were able to gain employment, yung mga functioning na yun sila.
Yes, that's what I mentioned earlier, sir. Thank you for that question. Some children with Down syndrome do develop certain qualities and skills that enable them to get hired by some companies. There are actually a lot of companies who hire individuals with disabilities, including persons with Down syndrome. In fact, I even saw one working at the Pearl Farm. He was part of the welcoming committee doing some release of refreshment drinks for the new clients, no? So things like that, they are able to be employed and be given equal opportunities in the workplace. Some are even able to do their own business for those who are interested in cooking or baking. They're able to uh, sell their products, no? So it depends on each child. Some are capable of being employed. Some are self-employed at doing some things at their homes only. It depends on each individual.
When they grow up, they can also parang raise families, no?
Well, it has been known that Down syndrome males are infertile. Only the females are having some chances of getting pregnant or having a child. But ideally, it's difficult for them to also raise a family because of their difficulties in learning and in being independent totally. There are rare cases, however, reported of them capable of doing such things, but it is very rare.
But do they have comorbidities ba?
Yes.
Ano po usually yung...
Oo. So children with Down syndrome have a lot of medical comorbidities. About 50% of them have cardiac anomalies, cardiac defects. No? May butas sa puso, things like that. About half of them also develop illness with their skin, their eyes, systemic illnesses, and also others may even be prone to blood diseases like cancer and other behavioral disorders, even some of them having autism or having ADHD as well. So there are many comorbidities of children with Down syndrome, and when a child is brought to the clinic, we check for these possible comorbidities to be managed as well.
Okay, final question kay Makuha na. What's your advice to the families, no? If they makuha nila na their baby or kailan ba siya ma-discover has this kind of a disability?
So most of the time, when a baby with Down syndrome is born, the very observant pediatrician, the one who touches the baby, will see the physical features of Down syndrome already. And when it's very evident or very obvious, most of the time the pediatrician will inform the parents in a gentle manner that their son or daughter indeed has Down syndrome. There are times it is contested, and when that time comes, a laboratory test known as a chromosomal analysis will confirm the presence of those three copies of chromosome 21, and that will determine or prove that the child indeed has Down syndrome. There is another kind of Down syndrome. There are actually three kinds, aside from the trisomy 21, which is the three copies of chromosome 21. Another form of Down syndrome is what you call the translocation type, wherein when it's hard to, no, but when there is cellular separation or division, some copies of one chromosome stick to the other, and therefore it's translocated. That's another form of Down syndrome. And this is the one that is usually uh, familial, or there are many members who have Down syndrome as well. And then the last type is the mosaic type, wherein some cells have three, four copies of chromosome 21, and some cells are typically or normal cells. It's like a mosaic, a mixture of normal cells and cells with three copies of chromosome 21. That's the mosaic type, and that's the rarest type of Down syndrome, the mosaic type. And when you encounter that, you see the features of Down syndrome being subtle or mild in presentation. So that's it.
Okay, daghang kay salamat sa atong mga bisita. Sir Clint, Sir Edward, and Dr. Mervin and Sir Fabian. Parting statements, announcements? Sir,
So
Dr.
as a parting statement, thank you again for inviting me. I apologize for being late. One thing I just like to be quoted, and this is my own personal advocacy, is to all parents should not give their children, very young children, digital media. Even if these are educational programs like Miss Rachel, Cocomelon, or any other educational program, when a child is born up to age 2 years old, strictly, absolutely no TV, cell phone, tablet, or whatever screen they may have. Why? Because the brain is not yet ready for that. What do we do as parents? We talk to our kids, we stimulate them, we sing songs to them, and the best activity to give our children from birth up to 2 years old is to read storybooks, which is never done anymore. I always encounter that in the clinics. They don't read to their children anymore. That's how busy they are. But
Audiobook na lang. Audiobook.
even audiobook is not allowed, sir. That's in a gadget. No? Storytelling po kasi develops a bonding between parents and child. And that's how a child learns to communicate. Patients come to me talking only of the dialogues they have memorized from the educational programs. They know how to recite the alphabet, numbers, colors, and shapes. But when you talk to them, they do not know how to communicate. Storytelling develops communication. Not the audiobooks, not the educational books, sir, that when you click on it, it talks also by itself. No, we read to our kids. And that's my personal advocacy po. So that children will develop very well and intelligent. Okay, that's it. Thank you again for this invitation.
Thank you, Dr. Fabian. Professor Edward and Clint. Again, invite natin, Bulawan.
So this year's celebration is a testament to the resilience, unity, and progress of Davao de Oro. So we would like to invite our locals, tourists, and also our media team to join us in this grand celebration. So come, experience the warmth of our people, the richness of our culture, and the beauty of our province. So let us make the 18th Bulawan Festival and 27th founding anniversary of Davao de Oro memorable together with you guys. So we would like just to thank for giving us a platform to promote our celebration. So dagang kayong salamat sa itong mga partners na Media Daria sa PIA 11. And thank you so much again.
And again, the maayong udto sa tanan ug maayong pagkapasmo. Daghang kayong salamat, no? And again, we are very much grateful for giving this opportunity for us to be guests in this prestigious press conference, Kapihan, spearheaded by the Philippine Information Agency and with our media partners. Sa celebration kasi, most of the time, any institution, whether in a private or in a government, will spend much just to disseminate information. But this one, again, we are very much grateful because we're given the opportunity to come and freely having the mileage of informing the people with the number one in the mainstream media, the television, the radio, some other involved in the print. How I wish that the Bulawan Festival, through the mileage of information in this Kapihan, will be more known not only in Davao de Oro, not only in Region 11, but of course entire Philippines, because Davao de Oro is a very gifted province, as mentioned by Sir Clint, and I mentioned too that we are very blessed enough to have these different forms of resources, the aquatic, the mineral, and the agricultural resources. Daghang kayong salamat, and I hope we can see the positive side of the government, not only on the issues of the political side that would drag down the government, instead of helping our government to tell the people that there's really the government that is working to address the welfare of the people. Daghang kayong salamat, at may hapon.
Okay, daghang kay salamat. Until next week, more relevant topics. Again, thank you to SMCT Davao for hosting Healthy Davao Media Forum.